The past 2.5 weeks, 53 teams have played 49 games around the country. Now it comes down to this place. 2 playoff games today, the national championship in just 2 days. Let's take a minute to see how these final 4 teams earned its coveted trip to Seattle. In the Mid-East region, Coach Joe B. Hall's powerful #1 seeded Kentucky Wildcats had an opening and first-round bye. Kentucky crushed Brigham Young 93-68. And then overwhelmed arch-rival Louisville 72-67. In the Mid-East Finals, the Wildcats conquered a tough Illinois 5, 54-51, bringing them here today. Their opponents, Coach John Thompson's Hoyas of Georgetown, top seeded in the West. They also received opening and first-round byes. The Hoyas barely squeaked past Southern Methodist 37-36 before finding their form by slicing through Nevada-Las Vegas 62-48. Georgetown took the West Region title against Dayton 61-49. Today's first semifinal brings together Coach Guy Lewis's Phi Slamma Jamma team, the mighty Cougars of Houston. #2 seeded in the Midwest region, the Cougars had opening and first-round byes before posting solid victories over Louisiana Tech 77-69 and Memphis State 78-71. Houston captured the region by defeating Wake Forest 68-63. Facing the Cougars, Virginia's Cavaliers, coached by Terry Holland, 1984 Cinderella team that had to win a first-round heartstopper over Iona 58-57, edged past Arkansas in the second round 53-51, and finally enjoyed a breather when they beat Syracuse in the East Region semifinals 63-55. The Cavaliers' 50-48 win over Indiana made believers among the toughest fans. Virginia's Holland and Houston's Lewis let each other know they were ready to roll. For Coach Lewis, this meeting is a milestone. He brings the Cougars to the Final Four a 3rd straight time, something only 6 other coaches have accomplished. The fans are ready, over 38,000. Within minutes, Houston leads by 6, following baskets by Michael Young, Ricky Winslow, and Reed Geddes. More than 4 minutes pass before Virginia's Olden Polynice finally drops one in, making it Virginia 2, Houston 6. Minutes later, Young's 3rd basket increases Houston's lead to 10. Virginia is struggling. Houston's Elijah Wan lets Virginia's Polynice know that he's got his work cut out. Alvin Franklin grabs the ball, feeds it to forward Winslow, who slams stuff, increases Houston's lead 14-4. It's a lead a team can't cut down with that tough, hard work, and that's exactly what Polynice has in mind. Tom Sheehy adds 2. Virginia's defense is fired up. Ricky Stokes is off. A beautiful pass to Othell Wilson. Virginia 12, Houston 16, 8:27 to go. The 4-point difference holds until Akeem makes his 2nd basket with under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Houston's lead is 6. And growing with Young's 10-foot bank shot. The Cavaliers spring to life, and in less than a minute, Wilson makes it 25-19. Teammate Rick Carlisle makes it 25-21. The Cavaliers are rebounding too. Sheehy, Wilson, Carlisle, back to Wilson. Polynice, and suddenly it's 25-23. What a play, and the big freshman center knows it. So do Virginia's fans, who bring their Cavaliers into halftime, trailing by just 2 points. Both teams have 13 rebounds. Houston's shooting percentage is 54.5%, much better than Virginia's 44%. Houston's one-time 10-point lead is gone. Second half action. Wilson from 19 feet. The game is tied 25-25. Seconds later, Wilson is fouled by Olajuwon. He makes both shots. Virginia leads 27-25. The next 12 minutes are pure seesaw basketball. Young on a fast break. Houston 30-29. Virginia Stokes 31-30. Back and forth it goes. With 7:40 remaining, Geddes gives Houston the lead again, 36-35. The Cougars stubbornly build their lead over the next 3 minutes. 4 minutes left. 2 big points by Olajuwon make the score 41-35 Houston. Coach Holland's face tells its own story. With 3:20 to go, Carlisle nails this one 41-37. But 2 free throws push Houston's lead back to 6. Less than 3 minutes left. Jim Miller wrestles in a basket, 43-39 Houston. With 2:35 to go, Holland calls timeout. Stokes replaces Carlisle. He feeds Wilson. 43-41, 2:13 to go. With under a minute left, Houston is struggling. Only 2 free throws in the last 3 minutes. A jump ball gives the Cougars the ball. Only 37 seconds left. Suddenly, Wilson steals the ball from Franklin. It's a tie ball game. There are 2 quick turnovers in the next 30 seconds, but neither side can score. Overtime. The extra 5-minute period is its own separate game. Both teams are exhausted. Both know it's far from over. Virginia strikes first on a 20-foot jumper by Carlisle. 3:51 to go. A minute later, Olajuwon ties it with 2 foul shots, 45-45. 60 seconds later, a quick inbound flip to Young makes it 47-45 Houston. Now more than ever, one shot can make the difference as seconds tick by. This could be it. Miller shoots. No. Olajuwon brings it down. Houston comes up court. Hakeem shoots. He misses. Winslow's slam follow-up puts Houston ahead 49-45. 2 Virginia free throws bring it within 2 points. The Cavaliers get the ball down court as fast as possible. It doesn't happen. Wilson loses the ball. Young throws to Franklin as time runs out. Houston 49-47, the lowest winning score in a semifinal game in 35 years. Young paces the Cougars with 17. Virginia set out to contain Olajuwon and holds him to just 12 points. The victory has been grueling for players and fans alike. And it isn't over because Houston has to wait and see who they will meet in the final. The answer will be decided between Georgetown and Kentucky. Coach John Thompson's dazzling young Hoyas come into the semifinal with a 32-3 record, a team record. Kentucky coach Joe B. Hall brings the team into this game sparked by the remarkable senior, 5'11" Dickie Beal, whose tournament performances earned him outstanding player honors in the Mideast region. With the game moments away, both coaches hope their game plan works. Thompson had some very specific ideas.
We felt that one of the things that we wanted to do was to put a lot of pressure, particularly after we came out of our zone defenses. We usually started the game in our zone defenses against everyone because we were afraid of foul trouble. And after we felt we came out, we felt we had to put pressure to try to particularly get Bowie from under the basket and force him to come out and to really pressure.
Okay, here we go. Georgetown center 7-foot Patrick Ewing faces Kentucky's 6'11" Melvin Turpin. Kentucky's Kenny Walker takes possession. Beal drops a 19-footer. Kentucky gets the ball right back, drives down court. Jim Master makes it 4-0. Seconds later, Ewing makes it 4-2. Following a Kentucky free throw, David Wingate slaps the ball out of Walker's hands and passes to Michael Jackson. 4-5. Coach Thompson likes what he sees. He knows this is not a Kentucky team you take for granted. During the past season, the Wildcats took the Southeastern Conference regular season crown an incredible 35th time. Thompson sends in subs and strategy. Ewing makes it 6-7. Kentucky's instant reply is Walker's basket with 15:05 to go. The Wildcats are starting to build a lead. Turpin scores, followed by Bowie. Kentucky 13-8. Neither side scores for 3.5 minutes. It's almost an omen. 4 attempts by Georgetown. Nothing. Kentucky's Beal regains control and moves up court. Turpin misses. Bowie rebounds and puts this one away, making it 15-8 with 9:08 to go. Georgetown calls a much-needed timeout. The statistics up to this point, a disaster. Georgetown has made only 4 of 19 shots. The Hoyas are shooting a dismal 21.1%. 2 points from Beal come after 3 Georgetown goals. The score is 19-14. Georgetown's defense is still shaky. With this smooth Bowie move from the baseline, Kentucky leads by 8. A timeout after 2 free throws by Bowie. The Wildcats lead by 10. Kentucky stretches its lead to 12 on this 12-footer by Turpin. Just over 3 minutes in the half. Georgetown fans are suffering. Michael Graham brings them 2 points closer and some joy. Then something strange happens. Play continues and Kentucky cannot score. Outside of 2 free throws, the Wildcats don't score a point during the last 3 minutes of play. This Graham dunk with 3 seconds to go closes the half on a high note for the Hoyas. But Kentucky leads 29-22, 7 big points.
At halftime, we weren't really surprised to be behind. We were really happy to be behind only by 7, particularly the way the first half went. We got behind and Patrick got into early foul trouble, and I became conservative and afraid and wanted to play with him in the second half. So I told the team that when they were up on us by double figures, that if we could go in and cut it below 10 or to 10, that we would be in good shape.
Georgetown's coach insists the team was in good shape. The statistics, in fact, are anything but good. Georgetown shot a terrible 34.5% with 11 rebounds, while Kentucky made 50% of its shots and grabbed 15 rebounds. Second half, the next 10 minutes go down in Kentucky history as some of its cruelest frustration, as Georgetown closes a gap with baskets by Wingate. Gene Smith and Jackson. The 7-point lead becomes 1, 29-28, and the Wildcats are almost immobilized. Ewing's hand is there at 17:08, and Georgetown is ahead for the first time, 30-29. Time races by. Kentucky's Winston Bennett finally breaks the Wildcat dry spell. 10 minutes into the second half. 13 minutes have passed since the Wildcats' last basket. Another Georgetown basket puts the tally at 36-31, and Kentucky calls a desperate timeout. It has made only 1 of its last 12 shots. The next 5 minutes are even more destructive. Kentucky simply cannot score. Georgetown can and does, with baskets by Williams. Graham. And Wingate, topped by 2 Jackson free throws. With 4:16 to go, Georgetown's lead is 14. Kentucky misses another incredible 11 in a row. James Blackman finally scores. But for Georgetown fans, the Wildcats are just about dead and buried. Everything is going Georgetown's way. This Wingate fumble and save is half the story. Coach Hall's reaction is the other. And it's Wingate again. 39 seconds left. The final Wildcat humiliation is this steal, forced by Wingate. Jackson pulls it away and lofts down court to Williams. He misses, but marvel at this beautiful peekaboo drop by Ewing. It simply adds insult to a big injury. The game ends with Georgetown winning 53-40. What a game. Georgetown's daring pressure attack has worked. In the entire second half, not a single Wildcat starter scored a field goal.
There was a tremendous joy after beating Kentucky because Kentucky was a great team. And so as a coach right away, you start to guard against overconfidence. And I think the kids would have assumed that we had lost the ball game because right away I wanted to take the crust off, the happiness, the overconfidence, and say, hey, fellas, we've got one more basketball game to play, and they want it just as bad as we do, and we better make certain that we're ready for it.
It's Monday night, the national championship. The fans once again fill the fabulous King Dome with over 38,000. They're ready, and so are the two teams. Georgetown, it made the Final Four only twice, in 1943 and 1982, when it lost a heartbreaker in the final to North Carolina, 63-62. Houston's Cougars have been here 4 times. Coach Guy Lewis brings his team to the Final Four this year for a 3rd straight time. Last year, Houston lost in the final second against North Carolina State. The teams meet at center court, and we're ready to go.
And here's the road to the championship by Houston. Louisiana Tech, Memphis State, Wake Forest, the overtime win Saturday over Virginia. And on the other hand, Georgetown, the scare against SMU. Impressive wins over Nevada, Las Vegas, Dayton, and of course the win against Kentucky. He's feeling much better. He's been under the weather due to an inflamed gum and tooth. Here he is from the corner, and that's a good start for him.
Excellent start. Georgetown playing a little soft in their man-to-man defense. It was very easy for Young to go inside, and there's Houston in the 2-3 zone right off the bat.
And he'll attempt one, and it's all tied up.
And here comes the press. Nice pass by Winslow.
Michael Young. And Young, who's starting to shoot much better. He had 50% in that game against Virginia. Out to Geddes. Michael Young will attempt again. Ewing was in his face, but made no difference.
Yeah, Michael Young is 6'7", so when Patrick comes out, it's not like he's a little guard out there.
Guy Lewis hopes a 3rd time as a charm. Championship, and Young is sizzling.
He is a streak shooter, Gary. He's had some problems early in the year. I mean, later in the playoffs here. But he is a streak shooter, and when he starts bailing it out, that fast break opportunity.
Here's Geddes. He hit his first shot from there. Houston is playing remarkably well.
It's not exactly playground, but they are putting the ball up quickly, and that's an excellent sign if you're Guy Lewis.
Houston is 5 of 5 from the field. Michael Jackson penetrating. Michael Graham scores at 10-4. And Winslow was in trouble, got it to Akeem.
Nothing passive at all about his offensive game plan, and that's what he needs.
Jackson from outside. That cuts it to 6 at the 15:56 mark. Jackson with 4 points. He and Geddes must have the outside shooting, and they have had it, Billy.
They are burning it. And so far, Georgetown is really not aggressively getting in the face of the good shooters.
Ewing to Wingate, and Young was pushed out of there by Brown, and Brown will get the follow shot. Guy Lewis is up. He wanted the foul. Franklin doing a good job of breaking the pressure. Brown reached in, though. Batted it away. Here comes Jackson.
Beautiful pass.
That'll be goaltending on Winslow. Team 45 left in the first half. Houston with a 14-8 lead. Cougars.
Man-to-man defense now by Georgetown.
Akeem had it batted away. Winslow will challenge Ewing, but he walked to the ball. Hickman is checked in for John Thompson's team. Ewing, 3 men around him, and we're going to have a foul. It's going to go on Reed Geddes reaching in.
Suitable margin over Akeem Olajuwon, and that's on the free throw line.
He's shooting 65. On the other hand, Akeem is shooting 53%.
In the lane a little early. Pretty well.
Winslow, and Ewing came out on him and blocked it. Reggie Williams, that's goaltending. Winslow up again.
Winslow would have been smart to let that one alone. Akeem tells him just to relax a little.
And Franklin. So Georgetown, after trailing by 8, has tied it up. 8 straight unanswered points until that play.
There was a case where Ewing tried to help out. Nobody on Akeem out there is a good shooter.
Rodnack's not able to get it. Ewing is there and very nicely puts it back up. He has 4 points. It's
on Elijah on the other end.
Franklin, that's a play he likes. He's so strong. The hang time. Winslow to Akeem.
Fade away. He did not take it at Patrick Ewing. He tried to fade away.
Better of it because Patrick was there. Here is Wingate at the other end. And for the first time in this game, Georgetown has taken the lead, 18-16. Situation is concerned. He's fouled out of only 2 games this year.
Houston wanting to go for the lob.
There's Michael Young, change shot because of Ewing.
Length of the court. He and Elijah Wan are amazing how they get up down the court.
Reggie Williams, Ewing to follow.
So far, Houston not doing a good job blocking out. Bob off the boards. Georgetown getting many 2-shot opportunities. There's another one.
This time, Winslow and Wingate battle, and Franklin will have it wide open. Geddes.
We saw Reed Geddes have his only dunk of the year in the Virginia game.
He bounded most teams by about 10 per game. Rodnack. Coaches tell me they have a battle as to whether Jackson or Brodnax is the better outside shooter on the team.
Well, fortunately for John Thompson, he just waits each game to see which one has the hot hand.
Young. And that'll be a foul on Michael Young, I believe. Yep.
Foul on Young. A very smart play by Young and a smart play also by Patrick Ewing. Watch this. Young realizes that he's going to challenge Ewing, and Ewing really did a very, very smart move right there. Could really hurt Houston at this point, trying to do too much too soon.
Anders is number 33 in red. Ewing.
Some shot. By trying to go crazy.
9 minutes, 20 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Anders. That might light him up.
That's the guy. You got to watch him. They know he's on that side of the court.
Reggie Williams, 2 men up in his face. He follows his own shot. And it's back to a 6-point lead for Georgetown.
Georgetown absolutely killing Houston on second shot opportunities. Some statement.
That foul, by the way, against Georgetown was the 6th.
No question about the accuracy on that one.
Rodnick to Williams, and Akeem shut off the baseline, but he still got it.
That is hard to believe. There's the Iceman Gervin imitation. Akeem and Patrick Ewing are really shoving underneath.
And they caught Patrick again. Ewing reaching around, committing his second, and now they'll be shooting free throws. That's the 7th team foul.
They are really going after each other. Both men extremely strong, really going after each other. And referees have to clean it up a little bit in there. Nothing dirty, but an awful lot of pushing and shoving for the team Elijah on the next time down court.
That may be a trend, and that's got to concern Guy Lewis already at the free throw line. With Graham will come back in. Ewing will check out. Ewing at the 7:35 mark leads with 8 points and 3 rebounds.
Really, I think Houston can play a man-to-man with this team.
Wingate. Graham follows his own shot. Yeah, make you shoot from further out than you'd like to. Now Franklin has the shot. Akeem went up and over the back. His foul, and that will be his second. 2 in favor of Georgetown.
And here goes John Thompson, a little four-corner type move.
Bill Martin, the outstanding 6th man that they brought off the bench all year long with the positive passes or the attack offensively they had the first 5 minutes.
I really believe they're confused more defensively than they are offensively. Dalton on a hold.
Dalton reaching in on Akeem. Akeem working very hard to find any operating room inside.
Call air ball, 1-and-1 situation.
They start inbounds. They just don't want to shoot. Houston's free throws are one of the things they would just soon forget about. And Akeem looked like he wanted inbounds, and he missed another one. The rebounds, the second chance points. There's the rebound. Akeem had inside position that time.
The rebound.
There's where Young started. This time, not the same result. Winslow. They know that Ewing's not in there now, and oh, what a foul. No, they're going to call traveling.
Houston kids are starting to look at the scoreboard a little bit now. Starting to get frustrated. Anders had to move. If he hadn't taken that step, he'd have had a foul.
Off to Bill Martin, who's the best leaper vertically on the team. Winslow out to Franklin.
How about Akeem? He beat everybody down the court that time, right from out under the basket. Extremely active.
There's the steal by Benny Anders. 3 turnovers against Georgetown. Anders, and he's come in and done a very good job.
And now by pulling Houston out and forcing them to become aggressive defensively, it's backfired on him.
Wingate just keeps taking it inside on to Martin.
Great catch by Martin.
Bothered in his right foot. Akeem.
Gets the foul also. That was some step by it. Got a tough matchup for Dalton. Oh, what a shot.
Michael Young, after he shot that ball, grabbed his stomach again. He was shaken up earlier when he collided with Ewing, and now it's back to a 4-point game.
Look for Akeem to work on Dalton.
Young wants the shot. Rebound Williams. Red Brown open to Jackson. That's what Brown does so well.
Someone out trying to block that kind of shot.
Ooh, too tall that time for Young, as Jackson was giving Franklin some difficulty. And
would figure Houston be a little more patient.
Center comparison, Ewing sitting down quite a bit of this first half, and he is really playing tough running him.
Be a foul on Dalton.
They called it on Akeem, and what are they going to call?
I thought he said 32.
They're going to call 3 seconds, I believe, Billy.
All right. A lot of hands, a lot of pushing in there.
7:35 mark. At that point, it was a 6-point lead for Georgetown, and Williams foul and a foul. So back to the 8-point lead with 42 seconds.
What a fake inside, altered the ball, great play. Wingate on the inside. Regardless of what Wingate does with this, Houston to be smart to hold for the last shot.
And Young had it taken away. That was Fred Brown who came. Williams. That was Clark who partially got a piece of the ball, and Wingate. Yes, he threw the pass that North Carolina intercepted. He'd like to be on the winning side this time. There'd be a foul on Wingate on the move inside.
Press full court here.
Already 6 assists, and the guy that you want to have at the free throw line misses. They're 0 for 4. Williams. And at halftime, Georgetown leads it by 10, 40-30. They trailed early by 8. Made that surge twice. They build it up to 10-point advantages.
Reed Geddes hits the first 2 points. Georgetown's Michael Jackson answers. Houston's Michael Young goes on a roll once, twice, 3 times. Georgetown's zone defense doesn't seem to be working. Houston's Lewis watches Georgetown substitute freshman Michael Graham for Ralph Dalton. Geddes goes over the top and stretches Houston's lead to 8. Georgetown's Thompson drops his zone game and goes man-to-man. His substitution pays off here as Graham plants one to give Georgetown 4. Houston leads by 6. But a dazzling Houston fast break has the ball back down court and into the hands of Akeem Olajuwon. Houston by 8. The next 4 baskets happen as fast as it takes to say Jackson. Franklin. Brown. And Wingate, whose basket counts as Houston's Ricky Winslow is called for goaltending. Houston 14, Georgetown 10. A timeout with 14:47 to go. Houston has been perfect, making 7 out of 7 from the floor. 2 Ewing free throws bring the Hoyas within 2. The big guy forces this turnover. Reggie Williams drives down the floor. Winslow, who lost the ball to Ewing, somehow manages to be there, but it's not a save, it's goaltending. The score is tied 14-14. Coach Thompson, meanwhile, continues to make substitutions, shifting players, looking for that perfect balance. But where is team captain Gene Smith, crucial to Georgetown's defense? Right now, it's head-to-head basketball. Olajuwon neatly puts this one away, making it 16-14 Houston. Moments later, Georgetown's Ewing answers with his own two-pointer, tying the game again. Wingate drives, and this 12-footer from the baseline puts Georgetown ahead for the first time in the game. The momentum seems to be slipping away from Houston. Ewing follows through. Georgetown leads by 4. With a timeout at 10 minutes into the first half, each side has scored 2 more baskets. And Georgetown's lead is still 4, 22-18. Play resumes. Georgetown makes another substitution. Jackson for Wingate. Jackson gets the ball to Ewing, who drops a 10-footer. The key at this moment seems to be that Georgetown substitutions are working. The subs are making plays, scoring points like this from Williams, who follows through on his own miss. With 8:38 to go in the half, it's 26-20. Under the boards, the spotlight is on the exciting duel between the veterans, Olajuwon and Ewing. This one goes to Akeem, who brings Houston back to within 4. For Georgetown, the substitutions continue. Wingate for Broadnex, Dalton for the Hot Williams. Georgetown seems to have found what the Houston fans now want, defense. As Michael Graham follows his own miss and makes it 30-22 Georgetown, with just under 7 minutes left in the half. Bill Martin, another sub, gives Georgetown a 10-point lead. The classic seesaw battle of minutes ago is disappearing. Yet 3 minutes later, Houston starts to move. Baskets come from Franklin. Then a beautiful interception by Benny Anders. It goes back to Franklin. Back to Anders, who stuffs it. And when Olajuwon lays this one up, he forces Graham to commit his 3rd foul. 3 minutes to go. Houston 28, Georgetown 34. The Houston fans know what their Cougars need now. Their shooting average has recovered to a solid 63.6%, but Georgetown's is holding at 57%. And the big difference is that overall they're taking more shots, even as Michael Young brings the Cougs to within 4. The half is winding down. Georgetown's defense is getting the ball back, causing turnovers, setting up baskets like this one for Wingate. Wingate's basket puts his team back to 8 ahead as Olajuwon picks up his 3rd foul. Georgetown keeps up the pressure. Wingate makes the lead a very solid 10 points. The half ends with Georgetown leading 40-30. The crucial story at the half is that Houston's Olajuwon already has 3 fouls. Houston coach Lewis knows this is going to cause problems. He already has others. Georgetown's Thompson has been creating pressure combinations that not only produce points, but put up a tough defense, even without Gene Smith. Smith was injured during the semifinal against Kentucky, but at halftime, Thompson had something much different on his mind.
That was the most important half of basketball that we had that season. And in the 12 years, you say that, hey, we're 20 minutes away from it all. And you really are trying to make the players understand, hey, let's be up, let's be ready, let's stay sharp. And at some point, you say, hey, fellas, let's just go out and win this ball game. We have a chance to win the national championship.
Georgetown's best ball club on the floor right now.
Alvin Franklin changed the shot. Akeem, and that may be his 4th foul and is.
He did push. Changed his shot because of Patrick Ewing. There was the push off with the left hand. Akeem got caught.
You know the thing that must be frustrating to Akeem, he's in trouble. Williams.
And Williams really knew it.
The Hoyas by 12. Akeem, they got it into him after the deflection. Ewing blocked it. Saved by Michael Young, and Houston needed that basket.
This has to give Anderson a little bit of a shot at it. Again, going right back at it.
Nice pass, and Michael Graham took over from there.
With Graham on him.
There's Akeem, and that'll salve a few wounds, but first break, they're going to have to get him out of there with those 4 fouls. Akeem with 10 points, 10-point lead, and that's been thrown away. Wingate intended for Ewing. Here comes Greg Anderson. Now, Anderson early in the year was a starter at a forward spot. He's 6'10". He's out of the Houston area. Akeem will sit down. Michael Young. That's Graham up and rejecting it.
Michael Young had to beat his man, then Ewing, then Graham.
So the freshman getting his first competition here at the Kingdome. Michael Young.
Ewing again coming out for block.
Alvin Franklin, that'll count, and a foul.
And that's exactly what was happening to Houston in the first half when nobody's helping out inside for his block out. Franklin gets it, goes up with the left hand, and makes a nice shot.
The foul.
His second, team's first.
Now here's a free throw by Franklin. That completes the 3-point play, but here's the technical.
Oh, that was... He just touched the rim. That wasn't grasping the rim at all. I don't... Let's see the play again. Franklin gets shot. He goes up. He just puts... I mean, he didn't even pull... Hardly had any tension on the rim there. Just went up. They're playing a little triangle and 2 right now.
Michael Young, a difficult shot, and what a play by Anderson. Winslow will take Ewing, and Ewing takes him. We're going to have a hell ball, and it will go to Houston.
The Georgetown team are playing the zone. There's the pass quickly.
Young missed a shot he'd like to have back. Wingate, Jackson. Inside play by Reggie Williams. Franklin, big play against Jackson. Beautiful play. 9 points for Alvin Franklin. Lead by the Hoyas. Lob.
Graham tipped that off with a little bit of eye contact. You can see the eye contact. Graham realizes everybody has shifted. He gives the signal. No question about that play.
Michael Young, same spot, different result this time. Young with 12 points. Reggie Williams from the corner.
So smooth.
There's
the zone defense, a 2-3 zone by Georgetown.
Franklin penetrating. That's that move of his, that little hang motion in midair.
When Elijah Wan comes back in the game, he will not substitute for Anderson. They'll play both big men.
Franklin is hurt.
Franklin's hurt.
Alvin Franklin, after he hit the shot, hurt himself.
And you see the play coming up. He goes up.
He came down off of Williams' foot.
We'll see. It looks like he's walking off all right. He just came down in an unusual position.
I don't know if he hit his foot or not.
Oh, no, it looks like the... Yep, it just came down in an unusual way, but he walked off.
Only one starter for Houston is in there. That's Winslow.
Billy Martin, some play.
You said it well. Who's going to score? Who wants to shoot it now?
It wouldn't be a bad idea for Guy Lewis to sit on the ball a little bit. Take some time off the clock here.
Baseline, he stepped on it. 12:48 left in this game.
They're back in his zone, but Thomas is awful small on his side, and they come right over it.
Wingate, nice touch off the glass.
Georgetown really attacks you where you're weak. Thomas is the small guy in the back line. They get the ball in exactly the...
But they may figure if Akeem fouls out, he's going to have to go the rest of the way.
And he's only got 12 minutes. He shouldn't be tired.
Franklin coming back in. Glad to see him.
That ball is above the rim. That should be a good basket. That basket should count.
And he gets the roll. It's a 6-point lead again for Georgetown.
Attack.
That's Broadnex. Nice move down the middle. For 5:56 in now, playing with 4 fouls. Franklin right now single-handedly is carrying Houston offensively. A freshman guard. He's the biggest improvement on this Houston team.
And Houston's still staying in that 1-3-1 trap, and it's been very effective. He's attacking that point position.
Franklin again. Michael Young. Akeem's got it. It's batted away by Brown. Baseline, Bill. Rebound, two guys. Akeem eventually. Ewing goes down. He's okay.
That was Winslow right up there with everybody.
And that's going to be another foul. And Franklin is going to get everybody in foul difficulty at the rate he's going right now.
Right now, Georgetown does not have somebody that can handle Franklin one-on-one, and he's taking advantage of it. It's bizarre because it flows back and forth. One team looks like they have the advantage, and the other one comes right back.
It's left in the game.
Houston stepping that zone out. Doesn't even look anything like what Virginia said.
There's Winslow with a block. Williams just a super left-handed move.
And got Graham all the way on the other side, ready for the lob. There it is. Excellent execution by Georgetown. Graham.
The ground, and Jackson almost getting his feet completely tangled up, trying to stay with Franklin. Michael Young, nice pass to Winslow, but he traveled with the ball.
Good job by Patrick Ewing. Georgetown realizes what the defense is now, and what you want to do, well, Patrick Ewing walks. But Gary, what you want to do is to make them run from side to side. After you tire them out a little bit, then you can go to Graham. And Georgetown, the last time down the court,
pushing off on that play.
Good job by Williams defensively.
Here's Akeem. Akeem with 12 points. Ewing to Jackson. Ewing so unselfish. Areas of the rebound. And Akeem blocked it. He's got to be careful. He'll pick up that fifth foul, and he got away with it.
What a play!
Michael Young, Winslow, and it's going to be off of Winslow. Golden opportunity got away for Houston. 5.
One was out front. Now Patrick Ewing grabs the rebound. Normally he just stuffs this down through, but Akeem stays right with him. Blocks one shot. Graham gives him a couple of pumps and changes on over with his left hand, which he likes to use. Akeem stays right with him and then grabs the rebound over Patrick Ewing.
2 timeouts remaining for Georgetown, 3 for Houston, as a crowd of 38,471 for this one. Here is Reggie Williams.
He is playing some ball game. He realized Akeem was coming at him and just lofted the shot over. Run a little bit. Not wearing down by having to handle the ball so much.
That's a tough pass, but a foul. Who's it going to go on? Graham? Ewing was looking around. He thought he may have his 4th. 0 for 3 at the line, and they were the front ends of 1-and-1s on 2 occasions.
But still played well.
He wants to come back and get to the Final Four 4 years in a row.
Be able to pick it off for the dunk.
Winslow, oh, that's some collision as he collides with Jackson and Ricky Winslow. Play, he's hit 19 of 23 from the line. 81% for the year. Slow coming around, but has been the starter down the stretch, starting 19 games for the Hoyas. Dalton will now come back in, and Graham with his 4 fouls will sit down.
Defensive player, probably saving Wingate to when he goes into the delay game.
Geddes had that ball almost taken away, and a foul will go on Fred Brown. 65%. He has 12 points. Ewing is there.
Oh, that was
blocked by Young. It'll be off of Michael Young. Built tennis shoes. They're laced all the way up on his foot. There's a reach in by Young. Saved by Franklin. They can cut it to 5. And do.
What? You don't attack every once in a while, you get yourself in trouble.
Williams is fouled by Michael Young.
They weren't even eligible to play in the varsity team. Michael Young made sure that shot didn't go down.
Is like the coach on the floor in the estimation of John Thompson.
When you have good technique, sooner or later you get to that line, you're going to make it concerned that this is the national championship. Very composed.
That was Ewing who blocked it from behind.
His wife, Franklin, is no longer taking the ball one-on-one.
Michael Young, a lot of trouble. Partially blocked. Team left. 2 timeouts left for both ball clubs. Both teams are shooting free throws. Ewing.
With him.
A basket by Ewing, his first points of the second half. Hold inside against Georgetown.
That's against Brown.
Yep, his 4th.
Not a smart play at all by Fred Brown. You don't
anything.
Fred's down there, and he's not arguing about it either.
So Michael Young hits both of them. It's back to a 6-point lead for Georgetown. Boy, he's so smooth, isn't he?
Williams, right here out.
That's been the play. It'll count, and another foul, and you wonder where that's been for a while.
Well,
on the line. So maybe
11 for 12.
they are down the stretch and under a lot of pressure, going to come through at the free throw line.
Keeping ability.
There's Graham again and changed his shot. Now that shows you something.
He is a left-hander, and I think he surprises everybody. They don't remember that he is.
Time he laid it up with nice touch. Dickens.
Big shot there.
First 2 points of the game for Dickens.
Over there.
Wingate way outside the Jackson. 3.5 minutes to go.
It's tough to chase when you spread the court out this way. Here comes all the way over to Jackson. We may be talking about Graham as the MVP of this tournament. No freshman has ever won that.
Foul on Georgetown. Going to go on Reggie Williams, his second. Here comes Benny Anderson. He played in that first half, having a brilliant game with 21 points.
Franklin went to the line. It was Akeem that's supposed to be on the line. Officials wisely changed.
So Akeem will have to shoot the 1-and-1 instead of Franklin. He tried his best, didn't he? Makes no difference. The big guy's right there.
Houston has to start thinking about fouling now. Going to have to commit some fouls. And they would have been smart to foul Ewing the minute he touches that ball. Or Graham.
And that is Graham being fouled by Michael Young.
That should be a 2-shot call.
That's what they're calling. Booker Turner agrees that'll be an intentional foul. It's 37 seconds left to go. He missed both of them. That leaves the door open.
It's up to Franklin to get that ball down quickly. Trying to put Wingate out on Franklin to occupy him. They're back in the zone.
Akeem, and we're going to have a hell ball, and it will go to Georgetown. Ball game. Bill Martin is in. Foul on Dickens.
Now this is going to be the tail of the tape right now, but Georgetown's going to have to go the line the rest of the game.
Background now has dropped back both Ewing and Graham. 76-68.
He drops back in the 2-3 zone.
Dickens, who hit one there earlier, and nails another one.
Foul.
Brown is only a 64% free throw shooter.
Very smart move by Dickens.
2 years ago.
It was interesting the way John throws you off balance. Freddie hits it. John throws you off balance. Dickens goes for move. He got fouled.
They're going to call the foul on Wingate. His fourth. 3 players now for Georgetown with 4 fouls. Wingate, Brown, and Graham.
Looking at any seniors there either, Gary.
Ewing with a rebound. 7-point lead, 1:46. 8 rebounds for Ewing. That's going to be a charge on Jackson. Dickens inside. Boy, he's quick, isn't he? And that one was thrown away. 13 turnovers.
To go home with that brass ring.
Houston got off to a remarkable start. They had an 8-point lead, hitting their first 7 shots.
That'll be 2. Franklin had a chance to foul Patrick Ewing. And national crowns. Think about his record in the Final Four. And then a follower like John Thompson with such a great record.
Anders.
Ewing got a
fouled
piece.
by Ewing. That's 4 on Patrick. 5 players now for Georgetown with 4 fouls. And Billy, if there were 3 or 4 minutes in this game, they have to use all that depth.
Well, that first start doing that I saw. Do it
For Benny Anders.
That's long.
A couple opportunities that got away, and a foul against Houston. Conley Jackson adds 2 more. It's a 10-point lead with 52 seconds. Michael Young, haven't heard much from him for a while. That's a tough shot.
That's
He got that one up in the rafters.
Over Patrick Ewing.
Young with 18 points. The reach around foul.
Telling guys what to do. He normally is not like this. Don't tell me he isn't losing his cool a little bit with his championship coming. To play very cool, but he's going crazy now.
There's Franklin. Follows his own shot. Look out. Rebound by Young. Patrick is there with a little impressive move on his part. 18 seconds.
As Graham wanted to lob, John Thompson just walked down and shook hands with Dave Davitt, the commissioner of the Big East. John Thompson is now, in his own way, lighting that Red Auerbach cigar.
Now comes into the ball game, and Houston is going to come up short again. But for 3 years they've been in the Final Four. He's happy the whole year, and look at the guy that's happy. It's John Thompson.
And the man that he's hugging, Freddie Brown. Remember what 2 years difference makes.
The pass is long forgotten right now by Fred Brown.
You know what's interesting with that picture? He was hugging him when he made the big mistake, too.
Yep. John Thompson is an outstanding man. He emphasizes life after basketball, and here comes Ewing out. Dalton is in.
Patrick Ewing goes down, and Gene Smith, the last man he slaps hands with. There's the smile everybody's been asking for.
Ewing with 10 points, 9 rebounds, 3 block shots, and a very unselfish game.
The only way he knows how to play. There's on the other end, as we see every year in this tournament, a lot of heartache.
3 times he's been at the Final Four, twice in the championship game.
I can't get over John still coaching here. He's not looking for attention. It's just nervous energy flowing for him.
A lot of new people in now. Gary Orsack, number 31. A little lean in. Georgetown.
That's the ball game.
The national champions.
Second half action. Houston trailing 40-30. Within seconds, Elijah Wan has his 4th personal. Coach Lewis's reaction needs no explanation. He looks up and sees Williams go right at Akeem, who can't afford to make another mistake. 2 points. Akeem is challenged again. Graham makes 2. Georgetown 44, Houston 32. Elijah Wan brings the Cougars to within 10. But to threaten, he has to do more than score. He has to be able to go after the ball. And Coach Lewis can't take the chance. He replaces Elijah Wan with Greg Anderson. With 17:11 to go, Anderson tips it in, bringing his team back to within 6. Unimpressed, Graham's bit of dazzle makes the score 49-41 Georgetown. The 8-point difference is by now almost a barrier. Houston seems to shake time and again. Franklin does it once. And then the 16-footer from the side makes the score 51-47. Houston is back to within 4 with 14:01 to go. But Franklin is hurt. He may be out of the game. The frustration is painful. You can almost feel it. Following a Martin basket, Wingate's 12-footer makes it an 8-point difference again. With just over 12 minutes left, Houston makes massive changes, bringing Akeem and Franklin back. Each team adds 2 points. Houston's Franklin fights for 2 and follows up with a free throw. The difference is 5, 57-52. Thompson makes 4 substitutions. Moments later, Franklin is fouled again. When he makes his second shot, he brings the Cougars to within 3 points. It is the closest they have been since 9 minutes into the first half. 25 seconds later, Williams brings it back to a 5-point spread. Coach Lewis is sick about that one. Timeout, 9:55 to go. Georgetown is still shooting that rock-solid 56+%. Houston is making only half its shots. The spread becomes 7 with Graham stuffed 61-54. For Georgetown, it's all pressure and more pressure. The Hoya defense eats up precious time. Finally, Elijah Wan gets his shot. Following a Houston timeout, Williams comes right back. Georgetown 63, Houston 56. Both teams trade baskets for the next 3 minutes. With 5:09 to go, it's Ewing. And now it's 68-60. The difference is 8. At 4:25, Franklin drives to make this beautiful 7-footer. He is fouled, and the Cougars are back to within 5. But the look of the Houston fans says it all. Their team just can't catch up. For Georgetown, the name of this game is now total control. Ewing and Graham combine their devastating power. The score, 72-65. The Georgetown fans know they have it. Ewing and Graham combine for one final thunderous stuff, bringing Graham's personal total to 14. Georgetown added 10 more points in the closing minutes, all on free throws. Houston's valiant effort falls short. Final score, Georgetown 84, Houston 75.
It's just a great feeling. It's just so undescribably delicious because we felt that we worked very hard to get there, and I didn't feel that these were a group of people who had taken any shortcuts. They played defense. They won the national championship with the hard part of the game. It's easy to play offense. It's easy to get credit for offense, but very few people acknowledge or recognize defense, and I think these kids won the national championship defensively, and I was extremely proud of that.
One final note. In the 2 games we've seen Georgetown play here in Seattle, the team scored 57 baskets. 54 of those baskets were scored by players who will be back next year. And we'll be back too when we'll see you in Lexington, Kentucky for the 1985 Final Four.
I'll say some individual hellos in a minute here after that.
Okay.
Make a few remarks about you. Hey, you all dressed up. You caught me on a Saturday. Should have had my sincere blue suit on. Well, Coach Thompson and members of the Hoyas, welcome to the White House and congratulations on a magnificent job. I know your victory Monday night represents not just a single effort, but is the result of countless hours of conditioning, training, and practicing by each of you individually, all of which is part of making a truly great team. You're the first team from the Northeast to win the NCAA championship in 30 years, and you have every reason to be proud, as I know you must be. You came close 2 years ago. Now you've made it, and we're all happy for you, and I think understand a little of how you all must feel. I'd like to congratulate Pat Ewing, this tournament and Big East Conference Most Valuable Player. You had a great season, Pat, and you know you and all your teammates are going to remember this for the rest of your lives. And Coach, you not only put together and directed a fine team, but you've watched out in the long run for the interests, the true interests of these young men. I think they'll remember you for a long time. And they'll be most grateful as the years go by. During your time at Georgetown in coaching, the overwhelming majority of your players have graduated, which is also something of a record in intercollegiate athletics in these days, but it also says something about the coach's priorities. Now, I understand there's been some criticism, Coach Thompson, that maybe your coaching was a little too stringent or almost military. I wouldn't let that bother me at all. It's results that pay off. Certainly this has been a result. You've won the title. You've never let, and this I think is vitally important as much so as the title, you have never let these young men forget that there is something more important for their being at Georgetown than basketball. And that isn't always true. So again, just a hearty well done from all of us, and I think all of us feel a great pride in what you've accomplished. And now I'd like to, well, Coach,
Mr. President, certainly we do appreciate you taking the time in your busy schedule to honor us, and I've got to say that that's got to be one of the highlights in these young men's lives, to have an opportunity to meet you. And I'd just like to say, if the worst thing that could ever be said about us is that we're military, I feel very honored. and I do want to give you a little token so that you can remember our team. And I also have a shirt. It should have Hoya Paranoia on it, because that's what they called us all year. But I'd like to give you this shirt to make you our official member.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, well, thank you. This is great to see you.